Howdy, Ayebawl here. Welcome to another episode of Factorio with Arumba's Angel Plus Bob Mods Pack. So, this is episode 13, and going to finish up the Sapphirite outpost. Got to set up the train stops so I can load up the train and finish setting up the electricity and track. So eventually I'll have enough drills, mining drills out there to cover up all the sapphirite, so I don't have to come back to this outpost. With the starting area, I'll just use 6 and just move them around when needed, but with the outposts, I kind of just want them to be self-sufficient. Set them up and forget them. So as I'm laying down the long electricity poles, constantly was getting attacked by the biters. At this point, it's probably easier just to go take out the bases, but I'm just going to save that for later and just work on defending for now. It'd be a lot easier to set up defenses now and learn how the biters attack with the new aggressive mod pack for the biters to kind of learn their attack patterns than it would be later on when they're all like super biters and they take forever to kill. So I ran out of resources, so I need to stock up so I can continue setting up this railway for the Sapphirite. And since the outpost Sapphirite out there in the east seems to be a pretty decent node, it should last for a while. But I don't think I'm going to have an actual stockpile of iron plate for a while, because I'm at the point where I'm just going to be using tons of it. I go ahead and I put a wall on the south end, even though I haven't really been attacked from the south end. I figure I'll just go ahead and cover all my bases now. So at the end of the track there, I'm just going to put a loop in, and the train will have a circle essentially to run through. So I'm setting up already so that the rail is set up to have multiple trains on the same track. Yeah, clear out these trees so I can put the walls down. I don't like the trees covering up the walls. I like to be able to see. Do a couple of repairs of the gun turrets. So before in vanilla, I think it was back in 12 or 13, they changed the way that you do railroad. They got rid of the curve pieces. It makes it so difficult to make a symmetrical U-turn with the railroad now. Usually, I'll lay the pieces down and then copy it down with the blueprint, and then just have the robots make the symmetrical turnaround. But I don't have a portable RoboPack with me, and I did not bring a RoboPort out. So eventually I gave up, and I was just like, turn around. That's all you need to do. And I need to get this done. I'll come back later and fix it. Just to make sure, put some gun turns on the corners. So I'm kind of semi-satisfied with it right now. Later on, when I finally get enough resources running through the main factory where I'm able to make solar panels and accumulators, instead of having some major land solely for a solar panel farm, I'll have the solar panels laid out with the railroad tracks. It ends up being pretty neat looking. So I finally decided to give the nanobots a try, and it took me a second to realize I had to have a nanometer equipped as a weapon. So I guess that's how the mod works. It treats the nanobots as ammo for the weapon. But it was a lot better than just shooting them down, I'll tell you that. Made it a whole lot easier to get through that dense forest. So I'll hook up the electricity so at the outpost the drills will start going and the inserter will start pumping the sapphirite into the chest and then start filling the train up. And I also go ahead and take this moment to replace the drills for the raw resources here. For all three of them. And then I clean up the coal area. So I'm not quite sure how big I need to make the depot. So I pretty much just take up the max amount of space that I can to place the depot. Because I know I'm going to need at least 6 depot stops, one for each of the bod mods ores. So I figure, yeah, about right there was good enough. Could go one more up, so I just backtrack a little bit. And then straight on down, back to the loop. Go ahead and put the wall down there as well, just in case the biters on the other side of the lake ever find their way around. I don't know if I'll survive their rampage. It's a start. I'll have to come back to it later. now it's time to set up the first depot for the Sepharite and get that train back over here. So it's pretty good to have the depot line about that long. I can probably fit 2-3 trains. So when I get other Sepharite outposts set up, and the trains wait on the actual line rather than the line where all the depots will split off and not make a backup traffic. I need to redo that entire science area. It's horrible. So the main thing that's holding up the circuits is plastic, and what's holding up plastic is the fact that I have very little gas and oil coming in. So for the depot, it's set up a little bit different when pulling the raw resources off the train. Two will pretty much just fill a belt up, and then have 4 on one side merge into one. Will definitely fill up a yellow belt. So then having 2 yellow belts merge into a red belt should fill that up. But I go with the loader, and this would be a perfect place for the loader. I can just dump everything into that chest, and that chest will just come straight out as a red belt. So I go ahead and get the robot ports in place so the robots can get to work. I know I don't have enough robots for this to actually be efficient, but that is their job from now on. It's time to go ahead and send the train. Let's get this thing emptied. So the robots take their time coming on over, and here they come. And yeah, that is just not, I just don't have enough robots for them to slowly do it, so I'm gonna have to pipe it over by belt until I can get enough robots. So I forgot to leave a space for the inserters. I should have just copied a larger section of it and then used the foreman to mirror the blueprint. That probably would have been a lot quicker. Alright, so that box is getting filled now, and full red belt. So that should take care of the iron again. Most definitely not going to, won't be backlogged for a while. I go ahead and empty out my inventory a little bit, and it's time to get started on another project. So I checked research to see what's going to be useful. I went ahead and picked out alloy processing, and that pretty much takes care of it for now. And I will see y'all tomorrow.